Now shut up.
Back to the smart lady.
Let's talk to our guest.
Juliet Mitchell, the author of Cancer, We've Got This, and Pure Girl in a Toxic World. She just pointed us to a website called EMGs.
EWG.
EWGs.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What's it called? EWG?
It stands for Environmental Working Group.
So what this, I want to explain this if I can.
Yeah, please.
It's like a Consumer Reports. Consumer Reports has no advertisements in it. So when you buy a Consumer Reports magazine, there is no agenda. So when it says Ford's got 5 stars and Audi's got 6 stars or whatever the case may be, they mean based upon non-agenda-based research. This is the same thing in your world.
Exactly.
Right?
And to go to your point about fear and greed, this takes all the fear and greed out of big kind of corporate America, meaning in the sense of that there's nobody behind it, no corporate,
Right, there's no agenda.
It's like saying, oh, this is natural when it's really not natural.
Okay, so I have a question for you, because part of what you say in your book and part of what you say on your website is that cancer is more prevalent now than it was before.
Correct.
And that about 10% of the cancers, and I'm going to say only 10%, are genetic.
Yep.
I would assume that's a low number to me. Am I reading that right?
Yes.
So because that means that 80%, 90% can be preventable?
Correct.
All right, talk about why it's so prevalent and talk about that number for a minute.
Okay, the reason why it's so
Prevalent.
right now and it's becoming like every time you turn around, don't you hear like so-and-so has cancer?
No, totally. No, I mean,
so-and-so has cancer?
Yes.
But like 20 years ago, like if somebody had cancer, it was like, oh my gosh, they have cancer.
They're done.
Right?
Yeah.
But now every time you turn around, it seems like your neighbor,
Sure.
your cousin. I mean, it's just like
Yeah, do
so rampant.
you attribute that to lifestyle? You attribute that to what we're
100%
eating?
lifestyle and what we're eating.
Really?
Yes. And what we're putting on our bodies.
That's what I'm just reading about Paco Rabanne. I'm going to, if I keep squirting this stuff on my body, I'm going to get a little something down the road.
Yeah, like a gold chain and maybe a Corvette. If you're wearing Paco Rabanne, I'm 90% sure you've got a leisure suit.
Yeah,
what
baby.
happens is they have a lot of paraffins in it. And that's a carcinogenic, which causes cancer. And it lies in the cell. So it stays inside the cell. And when under the right circumstances, if you've had too much stress, too much chemicals injected into your body, not enough sleep, your immune system's down, you've had a cold, the cancer cell is right there waiting to start to mutate.
See?
See? Are you scared now?
I am. I'm looking at these. Now, by the way, the website's great because it's easy color coded. It's like green, okay, get it. Yellow, don't. It's numbered and all that.
At what point, Juliet Mitchell joins us here. She's with puregoldandthetoxicworld.com. Her new book, Cancer, We've Got This. My question for you is this.
Nice cover.
Is it why, at what point did our food supply become our enemy here? Because that's really what you're saying here.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know if we can legally say you cured yourself of cancer, but certainly when chemo wasn't working, when radiation wasn't working, the one thing you changed was what you put in and put on you. Right?
So,
what you consumed and what you used as products, or what you changed, and that was the tipping point for you.
Right. So I still believe in modern medicine. I think that there's a place for it.
So there's an intersection between Eastern and Western. Okay,
Correct. Okay. So where I decided that I needed to make a change was when I was diagnosed with the big C word, I had this thirst for knowledge. I went to Harvard University online. I took nutrition and well-being classes and food, and I just wanted to learn everything that I could about cancer, which led me to a book called The China Study. And The China Study is this 500-page book. Basically, when you just get diagnosed with cancer, it's so hard to absorb anything because you don't even know if you're going to live, right? And you got these surgeries, you've got chemotherapy, you have radiation.
This is like the book,
right?
Everything to Expect When You're Expecting.
You got
right?
it. This is a do's and don'ts guide. Basic.
So your book is basic do's and don'ts, and that's why it's a
dummy's
must-read.
guide to getting diagnosed with cancer.
I'm going to make it very
with
clear,
all due
though.
respect.
You don't have to have cancer to read it, though. You want people to read it before that.
I want them to read it beforehand to be in prevention because you know what? We're all running around with masks and hand sanitizers because we're afraid of getting the flu.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So we're all
And that's not
the flu.
and that's not cutting it, though.
Right?
Yeah.
But why aren't we in cancer prevention?
Yeah, I agree.
When it's 90% lifestyle.
How do you feel now, Russ?
Terrible.
So I will tell you something because you just asked me about food. Back in 1960, an apple was more nutritious than today. 40%. Did I say that right?
Oh, because of genetically modified food and so on and so forth.
And what's in the air that drops down into the soil, that depletes the soil.
Les, it's time to move to Rustyville.
That's the purpose of juicing. If you juice, you get more nutrition then if
All
you
right,
just
so
need
the
an
next time
alcohol.
you're on, you're going to bring the juicer, and we're going to do that. Her name's Juliet Mitchell.
And wear the coveralls.
Pure Girl in a toxicworld.com. Cancer, we've got this, and we'll tell you how to get that next time she's on the air with us. Thank you, Juliet. That was awesome seeing you.